Every year I try to make homemade spaghetti sauce. Last year I didn't make any because we still had plenty left from the year before, but I made 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄 instead. And for like soups and stews and stuff like that. This year I'm gonna make more spaghetti sauce, and just to show you how I make my spaghetti sauce, I take this tool right here. It's like a core, and I pull out the cores out of each of the tomatoes. And then I take this complete seasoning by Badia, and I put that on I'll sprinkle it all on these, and then I'll roast these tomatoes. And then I peel the skins off, and then they'll all go in a stock pot. Now, because I don't normally have a lot of tomatoes at one time, so it's a steady process. As I get a batch or two like this of tomatoes, I will roast them, and then I'll put them in these gallon Ziploc bags. And I harvest my onions and my bell pepper also, and that will go in with my spaghetti sauce. I have enough here today to go ahead and start the process. So I've pulled these out of the freezer. I'm gonna open up all the bags and put them down in my stock pot and let them start thawing while I'm roasting this batch of tomatoes and roasting these. So gonna get started on that, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me. So I have my seasoning on the tomatoes, and I always have the cord out hole facing up, so my seasoning goes down in the tomatoes. So it pulls that seasoning into the tomatoes as they're breaking down when they're roasting. I've got all of my frozen tomato harvest bags opened up. I've got them down in my stock pot. I've got it on low so it can start defrosting and mixing all up. I've added a little more of my complete seasoning Badia in there, and I've added some fresh basil, fresh chives, and fresh oregano from my garden that I have harvested and ground up. I've got my pan of roasted tomatoes in the oven now roasting. Once those come out, I'll get the skins off and I will add them to my stock pot. This is another ingredient that I use. This is a medium salsa seasoning by Mrs. Wages. It is for salsa, but it sure adds a fabulous taste to my spaghetti sauce. So I will put this whole canister, 11 ounces, in with this big stock pot. Okay, spaghetti sauce. All of my tomatoes, bell peppers, and onions, and banana peppers. I always put banana peppers in my spaghetti sauce if I have them from the garden. So what I did harvest, I put in. So I've got all my seasoning, spices, everything all in the pot. It's all cooked down, and I am almost ready to start putting these in my canning jars. Okay, we're getting ready to start filling the canning jars. I've got my lids heating in water to sterilize them, and my pot of water, I'm going to sterilize my jars. Okay, I've got some of my jars, 6 of my jars, sterilizing and heating them up in the pot. Then I'm gonna start pulling those out and put the rest of them in there. This is my jar lifter. It's almost impossible to do this without one of these. I will link this in the description bought it as a kit on Amazon. It also comes with this funnel that makes it really easy for pouring over into that and keeping it all inside the jar. So, great canning funnel. Okay, I have all of my canning jars sterilized and heated up so that when the warm, hot spaghetti sauce mixture goes into the jars, it doesn't, it's not a hot product in a cold jar, take the risk of cracking. So that's why you want to sterilize and heat up your jars in advance. So I'm going to save this water because I will do a hot water bath to seal my jars when I'm done. So I'm just going to save that. I've got my lid. I went ahead and sterilized all 12 of these pint jars. I'm not sure if I'll need them all. I may need some more. I'm not sure, but it's okay. I can reheat them up next time I need to use them if I have some left over. So on the first batch that I'm doing, the reason I'm using pint jars is because my husband and I are empty nesters. We don't have any kids left at home. So for us to make a small batch, 1 pint is plenty. And if we have other people over, then we'll just do 2 pints. But what I will do is if I need more than what these 12 pints will handle, if I still have sauce left over, I may do 1 or 2 jars of quart jars. So that's the plan. Well, I filled up all the pint jars and I still have spaghetti sauce left. So I'm going to run out to the root cellar and grab probably 3 quart jars. I think that might do it. I'll probably grab 4 just in case. And get those sterilized and be back finishing up. Okay, I got my first batch of pint jars in the hot water bath to seal those. I'm gonna let those stay in there for probably about 20 minutes while I'm getting my quart jars filled up. So when you fill your canning jars, you want to leave about 1 inch from the top. So about that thing. Some of them I got a little bit more, but then you take this rag that's got a little vinegar on it and you wipe around the rims of all your jars, and that gets off any residue that may have gotten on there. But very rarely will you get anything on there if you're using the funnel. But anyway, I was able to fill up these 4 quart jars, and I've got enough left in the pot. I think I'm gonna have spaghetti for dinner. Now when you put your rings on, you only do them fingertip tight, and then once the canner seals them, some people do pressure canning. I do hot water bath. It's just so much more simpler for me. And once they come out of the hot water bath, then you'll be able to tighten up good and tight for shelf life. Okay, I have the 4 quart jars in the hot water bath now. I think they've been in there probably about 5 minutes. Gonna go another 15 minutes. And then the last batch of pint jars will go in. I canned 4 quarts and 12 pints of homemade garden harvested spaghetti sauce. And that wraps up this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, hit that like button, leave us a comment, and share our content. And subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.